Previously, we saw the king who forgot he was king. Today, we rewind to the bush, because before there was a crown, there was a boy. If you missed episode 1, go watch it. Now, welcome to episode 2. David was the 8th son of Jesse from Bethlehem, the last born of 8, the one scripture simply calls the youngest. In Hebrew is hakaton, translated as the small one or the insignificant one. His older brothers wore armor and marched in the king's army. David handled sheep, not because sheep were glorious, but because in those days the youngest carried the lowest task. The field was not punishment, it was preparation. There, David learned responsibility by tending the sheep and protecting them from danger. The field was his classroom. The flock was his training ground. Faithfulness was his daily homework. That's why when a lion came and stole a lamb, David didn't step back saying, it's only one. He chased it, struck it, and rescued the sheep. Same reaction when a bear attacked. There was another dimension. When the sheep settled and the sunsets turned the hills gold, David pulled out his small wooden harp, composed and sang psalms the angels understood. God was molding a king in the wilderness. Meanwhile, in the palace, something else was happening. Saul was losing his crown because he sinned, and God rejected him from being king. A replacement was needed. Not a taller man, not a stronger warrior, but a man after God's heart. So God sent Samuel to Jesse's house with oil and instructions. Go to the house of Jesse, for I have provided myself a king among his sons. Jesse gathered his sons, but 7 out of 8. They all appeared strong and outwardly impressive. Samuel lifted the oil to anoint, but heaven restrained his hand. Because God sees what men overlook, and God knows 8th boy in the bush. Confusion hit the room, and Samuel asked a question. Are these all your sons? Only then did Jesse remember the youngest who was at his assigned duty post. Samuel said, Send for him. We will not sit down until he comes. David walked in smelling of fields, holding no sword, carrying no resume. And heaven whispered, This is the one. Oil touched a head that once carried dust, and grace rested on a boy who carried sheep. Before the crown, there was a field. Before the throne, there was obedience.